Minister, appreciate your time. Does Queensland have a youth crime crisis?
Well, certainly we see right across Queensland and right around Australia and the world that there is challenges when it comes to community safety, but that's why the Premier's been really decisive about launching an evidence-based, expert-based community safety plan. And what that delivers is more support for victims, better frontline resources, intervention, prevention and detention when it's necessary in the interest of community safety. For the last 12 months, youth crime has reduced. It's reduced by 6%. The number of vehicles stolen by youths have come down 9%. And whilst there's still more to do, because we need to make sure that people are not only safe but they feel safe, certainly we're seeing a positive emerging trend.
But since 2018-19, the number of serious repeat offenders increased by 65% over 4 years. Is that not a crisis?
Well, what you've seen with the most recent police data is those numbers of serious repeat offenders have actually reduced. In fact, it's now under 400 statewide. It's down 32% over 10 years. And yes, there is a cohort of offenders who are serious recidivist offenders who are causing a lot of harm in the community, and we take a no tolerance approach with them. We've strengthened the laws, more of those are in custody for longer, more of those are in detention for longer, and more of those are getting more intervention services. It's why we boosted the resources for the police to do more proactive patrols, but also more engagement with those serious repeat offenders.
Is there a crisis, yes or no? Because the LNP is calling it a crisis. Is it a crisis, yes or no?
Well, whatever people want to call it, it is a concern in the community. We acknowledge that. Everyone is on the same page when it comes to this. The community wants to be safe and they want to feel safe. That's why we've launched this comprehensive plan. We're seeing an emerging positive trend. The numbers are coming down, but we've got to stick the course.
They're coming down off a high base. You've been Police Minister for 8 years. Do you take some responsibility for the way crime ballooned under Labor?
Well, part of the thing that is driving increased crime rates is increased domestic and family violence reporting. We need to make sure that we're supporting domestic and family violence victims, and that is why we've increased penalties, we've created new offences, we've provided more supports, we've given police more training to better support victims and ensure those people committing domestic and family violence receive proper consequence but also proper intervention.
The LNP has promised that there would be fewer victims under an LNP government. Can you make that same promise?
Well, we're doing everything we can to drive down crime, but it's not just about reducing crime, it's about enhancing feelings of safety in the community. The community have to be safe and they need to feel safe. And one of the best things that we can do is help prevent crime before it happens by early intervention and prevention services.
So will there be fewer victims under a Labor government?
Well, we're about making the community feel safer. And making the community feel safer and... No, hang on, Jess. We're about making sure that we make the community feel safer and they are safer. Reducing crime is part of our community safety plan. When you reduce crime, you reduce the number of victims, you reduce the number of offenders. So of course, that is the aspiration of anyone in government.
Minister, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Jess.